It is currently 6 past 6. Why are you still sleeping? If you've watched college football long enough, you stop thinking of recruiting as random. Certain names just sound right together. A quarterback from California, a running back from Texas, a corner from Florida, a defensive lineman from Georgia, and once you notice it, you can't unsee it. Because these pipelines didn't happen by accident, they were built over decades by coaching styles, weather, culture, money, and the way the kids grew up playing the game. Today, we're breaking down how specific states become factories for specific positions and why college football still depends on them. California, where quarterbacks are built. California became the quarterback state because the game evolved faster than anywhere else. High school football in California leaned into passing early, long before the rest of the country caught up. With perfect weather year round, quarterbacks were throwing 7 days a week, not just during the season, but in camps, private training, and 7-on-7 leagues. The result is quarterbacks who grew up learning timing, footwork, and coverage recognition instead of just raw arm strength. California quarterbacks aren't taught to survive, they're taught to operate. That's why so many of them walk into college already comfortably reading defenses and playing from the pocket. From Matt Leonard to Aaron Rodgers to Josh Allen, the pattern holds. California quarterbacks aren't always the flashiest runners, but they're polished, confident, and prepared to lead high level offenses from day one. Texas, power, running backs, and the line of scrimmage. Texas football has always been about imposing your will. Friday night football isn't just a game, it's an event, a business, and a community identity. And because of that, Texas high school football invested early in facilities, strength programs, and full time coaching staffs. Texas offense traditionally revolve around the run. Running backs grow up touching the ball constantly, learning vision, patience, and toughness from a young age. Linemen are developed to move bodies, not just block space. It creates runners who can handle volume and physical punishment, the kind college coaches trust in big games. That's why Texas keeps producing elite backs and offensive linemen. It's not just talent, it's repetition. Thousands of carries before they ever step on a college campus. Florida. Speed creates skilled players. Florida is a speed state. That's not a stereotype, it's reality. Athletes in Florida grew up racing, track meets, 7-on-7 tournaments, backyard games on concrete or grass. Speed is currency. If you can't run, you don't play. Florida skill players are tested every week against other elite athletes. Corners learn coverage by guarding future college receivers. Receivers learn separation by facing future pros at defensive back. It sharpens skills early and often. That's why Florida consistently produces wide receivers, cornerbacks, and explosive running backs. The competition forces refinement, and the environment rewards athletic confidence. Florida players don't fear big stages, they grow up in them. Georgia, defense first, always. Georgia didn't become a defensive powerhouse overnight, it became one because the culture demanded it. Georgia football emphasizes physicality, aggression, and discipline. Defensive players are taught to attack, not react. High school defenses in Georgia mirror SEC schemes. Linemen are trained to get upfield. Linebackers are coached to read fast and hit harder. Defensive backs grow up playing press coverage against elite receivers. The state produces defenders who aren't just athletic, they're violent and disciplined at the same time. This combination is why Georgia has become one of the most reliable pipelines for elite defensive talent in the whole country. Ohio in the Midwest, fundamentals over flash. In the Midwest, football is taught differently. Cold weather forces efficiency. You don't rely on speed alone, you rely on angles, leverage, and discipline. Linebackers from Ohio grow up learning how to diagnose plays. Quarterbacks learn how to manage games, not just chase highlights. Offensive linemen are trained to win low and strong in the trenches. It doesn't always look flashy, but it translates. Midwest players often peak later, but once they do, they're reliable, coachable, and consistent. Trace college programs value more than raw hype. Louisiana. Raw talent and fearless play. Louisiana might produce more elite talent per capita than any state in the country. The game there is instinctual. Kids grow up playing without structure, learning how to compete before they even learn technique. Louisiana players bring edge. They don't hesitate. They don't overthink. That natural aggressiveness turns into playmaking once college coaching adds polish. That's why Louisiana constantly produces elite safeties, receivers, and running backs who play with emotion and confidence. The game feels natural to them because it always has been. Why do these pipelines still matter? Recruiting is about trust. Coaches trust patterns that have worked. When a state proves it can produce a certain type of player, that reputation feeds itself. Players train to match that expectation, and coaches recruit what they believe in, and the cycle continues. That's why California still produces quarterbacks, Texas still produces power runners, Florida still produces speed, and Georgia still produces defenders who look like they were built in the lab. College football isn't just all about talent, it's about environment. Where you grow up shapes how you play the game. Drop a comment, what state do you think produces the best overall talent? And I'll see you in the next one. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. We're on the road to 100 subscribers.